Kathy Frey here, going live today on this Facebook. So welcome everybody to this live seminar and this little mini webinar that I'm going to talk to you about today, with the topic being morning sickness. Ooh, and all those remedies and cures that can help to manage dealing with morning sickness in pregnancy, which can be awfully unpleasant. And we're not talking of hyperemesis, which is when somebody has such excessive levels of morning sickness that they're needing IV fluids, really, because they are, or even hospitalization for serious cases. If you are in a situation where basically you feel like you just haven't kept anything down for 3 days, then I would definitely be going to see your local medical professional, GP, MD in the community, and let them give you a bag of fluids and feel a whole lot better. We don't really want your body getting dehydrated. And in very extreme cases of hyperemesis, which means excessive vomiting, then those women do need to get hospitalized, and sometimes they need to have a central line put in, and it all gets a bit complicated, but that is relatively rare. So what I want to talk to you today about is just a general run-of-the-mill morning sickness. So if you are keeping something down and it's not all coming up for days on end, then you'd probably just right on track, and it might be unpleasant, but it's pretty common as well. Now, the causes of it are the high levels of progesterone in your system, which just is basically making you take it easy. So, nothing happens accidentally in Mother Nature as far as I'm concerned. There's always a purpose to things, and those really high levels of progesterone that give you that feelings of nausea and vomiting, it's because actually what Mother Nature wants you to do is to take it easy. It wants you to lie down and just nurture the establishment of that pregnancy. So what I would say is don't push through it. Absolutely, if your body is screaming out to you that you need to be lying down with your feet up, listen to your body. Now, I know that can be really tricky when you are attempting to still go to work, especially if you don't want your workplace to know about the fact that you're pregnant. So what I look, it's really tricky, and I appreciate how difficult that situation is. But in general terms, you resting is more important. So do listen to your body. But here's some other things that might be able to help. Now, I'm going to be going into a lot more detail in our full-length webinar, which is when I deep dive into this topic, but I just want to give you a little overview today. And if you want to get hold of my longer webinars when we deep dive into topics, then I'll have a link with this mini webinar, which will show you how to get access to my essential basic program, when you can get access to all of that, plus my huge Q&A library online. Okay, so I'm just going to run through some things quickly for you. You might want to grab a pen and paper. Okay, so with regards to herbalism, nutrition kind of things, I'd say avoid heavy metals. Avoid heavy meals, I should say. Grazing a little and often is better. So just eat lots of small, frequent meals. And endeavour to eat as soon as possible after you've had a vomit, as soon as you can kind of try it again. Nibbling on dried fruits and small protein snacks such as almonds seems to assist to sort of even blood sugar levels. And fats and cheese can seem to help to settle the tummy, but just don't eat them all day. Drinking a freshly made cup of honey, lemon, fresh ginger and cardamom type teas. Honey maintains blood sugar, lemon is natural for energy boost, ginger aids digestion and body toxicity, cardamom calms the stomach and circulates chi and inhibits vomiting. So a tea of the mixture of all of those, honey, lemon, fresh ginger and cardamom is great. The Schuessler tissue salts number 4, which is ferrophos, that can be useful. It aids as an oxygen boost, and the number 12 silica, which is a cleanser conditioner, is also a natural energy boost. The Schuessler tissue salts combination S is really good for stomach upsets, especially that bilious kind of queasiness, sick headaches, allied kind of conditions. Walking, get lots of fresh air. If it is unbearable though, your morning sickness, then good to see a herbalist or a naturopath or traditional Chinese medicine herbalist or Indian ayurvedic herbalist. They have some really good remedies that they'll be able to give you. The Acupressure Point number 6, which is found in 2 inches, it's sort of in the crease of your wrist here, that between the tendons, that can be very useful as well. And actually an easy way to fix that is to use those seasickness wrist brands, because they have that little acupressure point on them, and that can be quite helpful. With regards to homeopathy, there's a few remedies there that can help as well. So if you feel unwell at the sight or smell of food, and if you're feeling kind of lethargic and almost a little bit angry, sepia can be very good. With early pregnancy headaches and dehydration from that fluid imbalance, natural myrrh can be helpful. When you feel like you need fresh air, that kind of feeling, faint in a hot room kind of feeling, worse if you're traveling in a car, pulsatilla is very good for that. If you've got it combining with fear of financing and sort of job worries, weakness kind of feelings, then sometimes arsenic album can be very good with that. If you're feeling a little bit combination with homesicknesses, feeling that capsicum can be useful. This, I know if you're not familiar with homeopathy, you'll think that what I'm saying here is sounding so weird, but it's not, and I don't have time to deep dive into all of this today, but it can really make a difference. If you've got, so I'll just run through the last of these because there's quite a few that I want to get through. So if the morning sickness is quite constant with sort of a copious amount of saliva, and it feels like it's unrelieved through vomiting, ipecac can be good for that. If it's worse lying down, ipecac. If it's like cutting pains all around your belly button, ipecac again is good for that. If it's like a bearing down sensation, nux vomica is the one for that. If you feel like you're overheating, pulsatilla. If you've got an aversion to tight clothing at the abdomen, nux vomica. If you've got an arduous sort of feeling of pregnancy, sepia. If you're better with fresh air, pulsatilla, I think we went through that. If you've got quite a moist white tongue, pulsatilla. If the nausea gets relieved from vomiting, then ipecac. If you feel like the food is rejected as soon as you take it, like it just hits your stomach and it's up again, ipecac or nux vomica, good with both of those. And if it's a sick feeling day and night, it's just like this 24-hour thing, tapicum, Tabacum, tapicum, it could be good for that. If it's incessant nausea with or without vomiting, petrol. If there's a lot of flatulence involved, calc-fluor is the one for that. And then if normal remedies are ineffectual, if none of the above is working, then I would definitely see a classical homeopath to have a diagnosis of your constitution, because that is probably what needs to be done, is remedy for your constitution to then remedy for the symptoms of the morning sickness. So yeah, really quick little overview there, guys, and love to see you more in our deep dive where we go into a lot more explanation on all of that. And wish you all a wonderful week, and take care. Bye everybody. See you.